Reported by naturallymoi.com. A 20-year-old man was fatally shot in the heart by police following a domestic dispute. Harrisburg, PA. 20-year-old Earl Shalik Pinckney was killed by the police after they were called to his house following a domestic dispute. The story the cops are giving is that Earl had a knife to his mother's neck, and of course they did what they had to do to save her life. But Earl's mother, Kim Thomas, is disputing that claim. Although Harrisburg police claim to have shot Earl because he was holding a knife to his mother's throat, Thomas says he didn't have to be shot dead. Quote, "No, you didn't tase my son. You shot him right in the heart," end quote, Thomas said. Quote, "They need to know," end quote. Thomas said the family had gotten into an argument and then called police. Quote, "We had a little fight, argument, like families have arguments," end quote, Thomas said, also insisting that her son did not have a knife. Quote, "They were arguing. They got a little rustling," end quote, Thomas said. Quote, "I stopped it. I told everybody to get out of the house. I hold my son. I was talking to my son. I know how to control my son. He was calming down. Everything was getting fine," end quote. Thomas also said her son had bipolar disorder, and he was father to a 2-week-old baby and recently wrote, "Being a dad is the only thing that makes me happy." Now, police reported that when they entered the room, Pinckney did not drop the knife when ordered. The district attorney says one of the 4 officers present fired a single shot that killed Pinckney as his mother tussled to get away from him. But his mom is right. They did not have to shoot him. They could have tased him. Quote, "I never saw the cop that hit my son," end quote, Thomas said. Quote, "At the end of the day, I would like to look at him in his face and ask him, why did you shoot my son?" End quote. The conflicting accounts of the story have caused a great outcry in the community. The officer who fired the shot had been on the force for only 18 months. Quote, "This is a tragedy for all involved," end quote, Dauphin County District Attorney Edward Marco said. Quote, "And a tragedy for the Pinckney family first and foremost," end quote. Quote, "We'll look at the portion of the law that deals with protection of others. That is, in this case, the threat was not to the officer himself, but to someone else," end quote, Marco said. "And whether the use of deadly force was justified to protect others in the circumstance, that will be the focus of the investigation," said Marco. Watch the video below at naturallymoi.com of Earl's mom, Kim Thomas, talking about the fatal shooting of her son. Until next time, I'm Jen Nicole from naturallymoi.com.